Trail. This is Mrs. Archer with your daily Wildcat Wire news. Today is Friday, the best day for announcements, February 5th, 2021. Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We would like to wish a very happy birthday to Jeremy P., Emiliano C., and Reagan T., who are celebrating over the weekend. Today, the weather is 20 degrees and mostly cloudy, of course. Be sure to wear a coat, gloves, and hat if you are waiting out for the bus. Here are some February fun facts. February is the only month to have the length fewer than 30 days. February is 29 days long in leap years such as 2020. Originally, February was the last month of the calendar year. Eventually, in 450 BC, February was moved its place as the second month. If you were born in February, your birthstone is amethyst and your flower is a primrose. The name February comes from the Latin word febrium, which means purification. Just a reminder, this weekend is your last chance to order a Battle of the Books shirt or sweatshirt. The link is available in the library Google Classroom and the school website. This will be a Battle of the Books competition to remember. Get your shirt so you will never forget. So 3 weeks ago, I started another 8-week challenge with my teammates for the bike. Monday's ride was the hardest one that we've had so far. Many of the teammates ride at the crack of dawn. I do not. I love sleep. So later in the day, I logged on to our Facebook site where many of the riders had posted and were complaining about the music, particularly the last song, which was Evanescence, Bring Me to Life. What's funny to me is that I absolutely love that song. When I hear it, I think of the movie Daredevil. There is a scene in which Elektra, played by Jennifer Garner, one of my favorite actresses, gets all dressed up in her Elektra costume and has these tri-swords or something. They're in her hands and they're called sais. Mr. Lubing just told me. Okay, so anyway, she's fighting, she's practicing her fighting moves and she looks so fierce. I mean, she starts down and the song is super slow and she rises up with these swords in her hands and she's jabbing around the air, pretending, she's just practicing. These flower bags are dropping from ceilings. She's throwing these swords, flowers going everywhere, and she's getting all crazy, right? The last flower bag drops and it's the picture of she's drawn on there, the Daredevil face. It's with marker. It really didn't look like him. But the last thing, she slices it and flower goes everywhere. It's very dramatic. So, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this movie, the person that she wants to fight and really end him was actually her love interest in the movie. So if you haven't seen the movie, it's worth the viewing. So now, after every ride, you get a graph to show you how you did. So the last 3 minutes when they were playing that song, my graph was way above where it should have been. Because the entire time I listened to that song, I'm just envisioning Jennifer Garner with these, whatever Mr. Lubing called them, swords. And I was completely in beast mode. So I posted on our team page exactly what I just explained to you. I mean, it was a lot less dramatic in the explanation, but I was just basically I think of this song. And this one lady said, okay, I get that. You can have your happy moment. Another man said, good reference. I like that. He's probably thinking that I like Marvel movies, but really that's one of the only ones. That one and Deadpool, the only ones I really like. So it made me start to realize how much music triggers memories for me. One of my favorite parts of any movie would be the musical montages. I had one at my wedding, and I feel like everyone at some point in their life needs a musical memory. I bet a lot of you would think of me the next time you hear the song, or maybe 30 years from now when you hear the Lady Gaga song, Rain on Me. You will remember that time your crazy assistant principal played that song on the morning announcements and danced around like she was in her car. Anytime I hear Whitney Houston, how will I know? I think of singing and dancing around to that song with my hair brushed like I was Whitney Houston when I was in 6th grade. When I hear the song Diddy by Paperboy, I think of me and my college roommates dancing around our apartment and having the time of my life. And whenever my dad hears the song, The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, he remembers that was the song he heard on the radio driving home from the hospital on the night I was born. So tell me about a song that whenever you hear it brings you to a happy place, and explain that situation too. All right, and now it's time for Students of the Month. The following students were selected by teachers for January of 2021. So congratulations to the following students. Yaneli E. from 8th grade by Mrs. Wade. Gavin H. from 7th grade by Mrs. Kabliska. Maggie L. from Miss Backus in 6th grade. John L. in 6th grade from Mr. Wright. Grant W. in 7th grade from Miss Mansfield. Gianna F. from grade 6 from Mr. Wright. Bailey V. from Miss Lenahan in 6th grade. Kalia D. from Miss Mansfield in grade 7. Casey Sitterly, 8th grade from Miss Martinez. Nick L., 8th grade from Mrs. Boyd. Jason R., 6th grade from Miss Backus. Sergio M. from Mrs. Wade in 8th grade. Jayla O. in 7th grade from Miss Mansfield. Charles O. in 6th grade from Miss Lenahan. Christina D., grade 8, Miss Martinez. And Lauren M. in grade 8 from Miss Boyd. If you are in-person learning, you will get your prizes then. Otherwise, one administrator will show up at your house with your certificate and your prize. So congratulations. All right, this week on Mrs. Archer's Wheel of Fun, we're going to take a minute to talk about who our winners were last week. The question that I had asked all of you was, tell me about a time that you went high when someone went low, and I had some really great answers. A lot of you were very thoughtful, and you've used a great strategy of just walking away and not letting that person, as my mom would say, take up space in your brain that ain't paying rent. But the other question that we had from the Wheel of Fun was, what did you want to be when you grow up? And we have from 6th grade, we have Natalie V., who wants to be a real estate agent. From 7th grade, Mooney M. wants to be a doctor. And from 8th grade, Micah R., who wants to be a mechanical engineer. When you graduate from college, hit me up. Mr. Archer might be able to get you a job. He's a mechanical engineer. We had a lot of dancers in like NFL, NHL, NBA players. We had a lot of those. A lot of fashion designers, a lot of creative people. Hit up Miss Dulovich's art class for that. A couple of paratroopers. One very interesting one wanted to be a cat toy maker. That was pretty fun. And then a lot of people want to work with animals. So lots of vets. Mrs. Archer's dog is not doing too well. Her legs are, just like Mrs. Archer, old and not working as well. She's struggling in the snow. Oh my gosh, this is the best one ever. I gave her my heart and she gave me a pen. I love movies. I love this movie. It's from a movie called Say Anything. I watched it as a young girl, and it got to my heart. And in this line, the boy, Lloyd Dobler is his name, calls his sister because his girlfriend broke his heart. And he said to her for the first time, I love you. And instead of her saying, I love you back, she gave him a pen and said, write to me. And he calls his sister. He's in this phone booth. It's raining. There's music playing in the background. You probably know the movie because it's the one where the guy holds up the boom box and plays In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel. So if you ever see like references of a guy with a trench coat on and a boom box, that's what it's from. Anyway, so he says to his sister, crying, heartbroken, I gave her my heart and she gave me a pen. Best line ever. Like, I cried. I was in high school. I never wanted to get my heart broken. So the point is, I love that movie, and I could tell you every line from that movie. So you tell me about a movie that you know so well, you could recite every single line. That about wraps it up for us here this week on the Wildcat Wire, the best day for announcements. I'm Mrs. Archer. I hope you all have a really great weekend. Next week is going to be super cold, so Super Bowl weekend, have a great time. Bye, guys.